Okay, so for the past couple of weeks, I've been trying out the YaGee Magnetic Levitation Wrist Rest. These are the 2.0 version. What they aim to do is take any mechanical keyboard or keyboard that you have that is not ergonomic and make it a ergonomic keyboard by virtue of these pads that you actually lay on your palm and wrist. They support magnetic tension or magnets, so when you rest your wrists or your palms on it, it feels like they're actually resting on a cloud. Now, like I said before, I've been using this for the past couple of weeks and I've been trying out for moderate gaming and also office work. Let me share with you my experiences. Now, let me define moderate gaming. Me as a gamer, when it comes to PC gaming, I'm more like, wow, a new game came out. I want to see what it looks like on max specs. So I'll play it. Wow, that looks cool. And I'll game from there for just a bit, not so much. But when it came to office work, yeah, for sure, I was putting so many hours with these guys. Now, I want to say this. In the beginning, when you try this out, it may feel a little awkward, and that's how I felt for probably the first day, probably moving into the second day. It was a different feel. It was, you know, my arms are resting a different way, my wrists are resting a different way. But after a while, I started, you know what, let me see what it feels like without it. So I would remove it, I'm like, oh, my wrists are down here now. And then I'll put it back on, I'm like, oh, I'm really feeling a difference, and I'm liking it better with these on right here. Over time, I realized that there was less strain and tension on my wrist all over the place. I mean, yeah, like from here, like it was a weird angle. I kind of felt, I actually feel it right now. But with here, with the magnets that are built inside of it, it felt like I'm just kind of like, ah, yeah. And as you can see in the video, it slides from left to right. So it really gives freedom and mobility of my hands and wrists to kind of just move whatever it needs to be, whether I'm gaming or doing, you know, typing a script or something, you know, like it just feels that way. So let me show you another angle so you can see. I'll just take my palm right here and I'll just rest it right here on the edge, and it just sort of feels floats. Again, you can see the magnet just kind of holding my hand up. I'm resting right now and it's not even touching all the way down. So it feels like it's kind of like it's floating, like the magnets are holding the weight of my hand right here. And as I'm typing, you know, I feel no stress on my wrist. I can move side to side if I just want to, you know, get comfortable. And as I was looking at the features of this product, it says when I do this, it puts pressure on your shoulder, which gives you a weird angle, and thus, of course, the strain on your wrist over time. But like this, oh yeah, no, like I don't feel in the shoulder. It's weird. I can't explain it, but it's actually doing it. I can see if you were a gamer using gamer keyboards, you know, that are not made for you ergonomically, I could definitely see how this actually can be a plus for, I mean, especially in the long run. Me, I'm not a spring chicken, but you know, you start breaking down over time and you definitely want to take care of your joints now for in the future. Now, here's an added bonus thing. I don't know if they meant to do this or not. Obviously, when you're gaming, you're doing your little WASDAs, right? There's not really a place for the second one here, unless you're playing a game that does that. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to put it over here for actually using my mouse. And as I'm using it in tandem, like, wow, like I can actually use this for my mouse as well. Again, I'm not saying it was made for that, but when I tried it out, I was like, hey, I could probably do that. As you can see, it's resting on my wrist instead of my palm where my thumb is, but it felt just as nice. All right, so let me give you an example of what this looks like when I'm playing a game so you can see how it's moving, how it feels, how it looks. Well, not how it feels, but just how it looks and how it responds. And as that's loading up, I'll let you know something about these that I discovered. Now, they do say that this is universal, can be used for many different types of keyboards. I found this is great specifically for gaming keyboards or mechanical keyboards, basically keyboards with a little height to it. Usually my daily driver is a really flat keyboard like this. So I found it kind of awkward how my wrists are up here and then my fingers are all the way going down here. It just felt, for me, it didn't feel intuitive for me. So it didn't take me long for me, like, nope, not that. But when it came to a mechanical keyboard, oh yeah, all the way. You know, it's got some height to it. I can bring this out. I can bring this in or out just like a regular ergonomic keyboard that you see all the time. So yeah, I mean, it really adds it. Without spending a lot of money on an ergonomic keyboard, you can just do this and you're set. Keep your RGB fancy keyboard, but at the same time, save your wrist. All right, so let's get a quick example of what it looks like as you're actually gaming with these Yaggies. Okay, so as I'm playing, make sure you pay attention to my wrists and not my actual gameplay. I'm not very good at this game, but again, as I'm using this, my wrists, they just feel like they're being supported. My palms are being supported because of the magnetics. It's just holding everything together. And I really don't feel the stress that I used to feel before when I used to play games like this. And again, at the same time, I'm using this on my mouse for the mouse hand as well as I'm playing. Yeah, I told you, I'm not really good at this game. Yeah, but at the same time, at least my wrists don't hurt as I'm playing this. Okay, so let me give you my final thoughts when it comes to the YaGee Magnetic Levitation 2.0 Wrist Rest. Overall, guys, in the long run, if you want to avoid stress on your wrist or you currently have right now, this is probably a great option, especially if you're not using an ergonomic keyboard like a gaming keyboard or a mechanical keyboard. That's the first thing. Second thing, the way the magnets really support your wrist, like it's floating on clouds or something, it's kind of striking. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to kind of get used to it after the first couple of days, but it's definitely a difference that may be worth it for you. That may be worth it for you in the long run. My only gripe, it really doesn't work too well with thin keyboards, but again, for keyboards like this, you can't go wrong. All right, guys, really hope this video helped you out. Take care. Bye. As always, I'll leave links in the description down below so you can pick up your own YaGee Magnetic Levitation Wrist Rest. Guys, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Hit that like button if you like what's going on here, and also ding that notification so you can be notified for future videos as well. All right, I'll see you next one. Take care. Bye.